30 things from the 1960s that are now completely obsolete. The 1960s was an era of incredible innovation and change, brimming with exciting inventions and cultural revolutions. From stylish fashion trends to revolutionary tech gadgets, this vibrant decade left an indelible mark on history. But have you ever wondered what happened to all those once essential items? They've completely vanished from our modern lives. Join us as we explore 30 items from the 1960s that were once essential but are now completely obsolete. Rotary phones. In the 1960s, almost every home had a rotary phone, often placed centrally in the house, like the living room or hallway, acting as the sole communication link to the outside world. Making a call wasn't as simple as it is today. You had to patiently insert your finger into each number hole and dial clockwise until it hit the stop, then release, letting the dial return to its original position, creating that characteristic clickety-clack sound. This entire process demanded precision and patience, especially when dialing long numbers. It was a slow-paced experience, but it was the essential mode of communication of its time. The popularity of rotary phones lasted until the 1980s, when push-button phones emerged and quickly replaced them. Push-button phones, with their simple buttons, allowed users to dial much faster and more conveniently. Today, rotary phones seem to only appear on film sets or in vintage collections, becoming a nostalgic symbol of a bygone era. Partyline telephones. Closely linked to rotary phones, the Partyline telephone service was once an essential item in many homes in the 1960s, especially in rural areas. A party line was a shared system where multiple households were connected to the same single telephone line. To know if a call was for them, each house would have a specific ring pattern, like 2 short rings or 1 long ring. This meant you could hear your neighbors' conversations and vice versa. While cost-effective for phone companies and residents, the biggest drawback of this service was its very low privacy. The daily lives of families could easily be overheard by neighbors, leading to many awkward situations or even arguments about who was using the line.
I do hate to interrupt, but would you mind hanging up, please?
The other half of my party line. Just ignore her, she'll go away.
By the end of the 20th century, the development of private phone lines and more advanced communication technology made party line service completely obsolete, giving way to more private and efficient personal connections. Transistor radios. In the 1950s, transistor radios were indispensable for music lovers and sports fans, especially young people. Compact, portable, and battery-powered, these radios brought the sounds of baseball games, news, and rock and roll to millions of people wherever they wanted. Before transistor radios, listening to the radio was often limited to bulky sets at home, but now people could take their music to the park, the beach, or simply listen in their own room without disturbing others. Although their sound was a bit fuzzy and not as clear as today's audio, they were a breakthrough at the time, changing how people accessed entertainment and information. While most modern portable music players have evolved into smartphones and digital music devices, you can still find a new transistor radio sold today, often as a nostalgic electronic item. They are still preferred by some for their simplicity and vintage charm. Tube televisions, CRT TVs. Once the beloved centerpiece of living rooms, tube televisions, or cathode ray tube, CRT TVs, were the top choice for home entertainment for decades, especially in the 1960s. These bulky, heavy giants occupied significant space with deep backs that required a lot of wall clearance for placement. They were often placed on large wooden cabinets or specialized stands, becoming the focal point of the room where the whole family gathered in the evenings to watch news, movies, or entertainment shows. Despite their large size, the picture quality of CRT TVs was highly praised for their color depth and contrast. However, as technology advanced, flat screens revolutionized the way we watch TV. With the advent of LCD, LED, and OLED screens, CRT TVs quickly became obsolete. Now, tube televisions are only found in remote areas or in antique collections. TV dinner trays. In the 1960s, TV dinner trays were a fantastic invention, bringing unprecedented convenience to American families. These trays, often made of lightweight metal or plastic, allowed you to conveniently eat dinner right on your lap while watching your favorite show. They typically came with frozen meals divided into separate compartments, allowing everyone to enjoy a hot meal without needing to set a traditional dining table. This was an ideal solution for busy evenings or when family members had different schedules, providing a sense of comfort and modernity. Although convenient, many people stopped using these trays decades ago. With changes in eating habits, a preference for family meals gathered around the table, and the emergence of other convenient food types, the demand for TV dinner trays significantly decreased. Today, they are just a nostalgic memory of a time when TV began to be the center of family entertainment, and convenience was paramount. Adding machines. First appearing in the 19th century, adding machines were specialized calculating devices and indispensable items in offices, banks, and stores in the 60s. They were designed to accurately process calculations involving currency and other complex numbers. To use them, users had to carefully press the number keys, then pull a crank to perform the calculation and see the total appear on rotating wheels or on a small paper strip. These machines were very bulky, weighing from 5 to 20 pounds, about 2.3 to 9 kilograms, and took up a fair amount of desk space. However, the advent of electronic calculators in the 70s became the new standard, quickly making these heavy adding machines obsolete. Electronic calculators were compact, lighter, faster, and much easier to use without the need for cranks or printing strips. By the 80s, almost no one used mechanical adding machines anymore, and they completely disappeared from offices by 2000, replaced by much faster and more efficient computing technology, from pocket calculators to computer software. Car cigarette lighters and ashtrays. Car cigarette lighters and ashtrays originated from a bygone era of smoking. In the 1960s, these lighters became standard in almost all cars, often located on the dashboard or near the gear shift, accompanied by integrated ashtrays. They were even more common than cup holders, reflecting the level of acceptance and prevalence of smoking in society and while driving back then. These lighters worked by pushing them in, waiting a moment for the coil to glow red, then pulling them out to light a cigarette. Ashtrays, typically designed to be easily emptied, were used for cigarette butts and ashes. As awareness of the harms of smoking increased, especially after the Surgeon General's landmark report in 1964, tobacco use gradually declined. Concurrently, regulations prohibiting smoking in public places and cars became stricter. Today, most cars have a circular 12-volt outlet, originally used for lighters but now repurposed for charging phones, tablets, and other electronic devices. Manual typewriters. Before word processing software on computers became the standard, manual typewriters were the sole tool for creating printed text. Each time you pressed a key, you'd hear the characteristic click-clack sound as the key hit the ink ribbon, imprinting letters onto the paper with mechanical precision. Typing on a typewriter wasn't just about hitting keys. It required skill, finger strength, and high accuracy. You had to press firmly and decisively on each key to ensure the characters were clearly printed. Crucially, there was no delete button. A small mistake could require you to start the entire page over, or use special correction fluid to cover the error, then retype over it. This made document drafting a meticulous and highly focused process. By the 1970s, electric typewriters with lighter keyboards and limited correction capabilities began to replace manual models. Then, over a few decades, the advent of personal computers and word processing software like Word completely dominated the market, offering unlimited editing, easy storage, and professional formatting, relegating manual typewriters to oblivion. Punch card data storage. In the early days of computing, punch card data storage was a crucial and indispensable part. These cards, often called IBM cards, were made of stiff paper and had a standard size, designed to store data by punching holes at specific locations on the card's surface. Each hole position corresponded to a character or a specific data value, and a single card could store up to 80 characters. Computer programs or data would be entered by preparing a stack of punch cards, then feeding them into a card reader for the computer to process. This process required great care and precision, as a small punching error could corrupt the entire data or program. By the 1970s, more advanced and reliable data storage methods began to emerge and quickly replaced punch cards. Magnetic drives, magnetic tapes, and later floppy disks offered greater storage capacity, faster access speeds, and much more flexible data writing/erasing capabilities compared to punch cards. Phone books. Before the internet era, thick phone books were an indispensable treasure trove of information for every household and business. Do you remember the feeling of flipping through thin, yellowed pages to find the phone number of an old friend, a repair service, or a local restaurant? There was a time when the easiest and fastest way to find information like addresses or phone numbers was to flip through the pages of this massive phone book. Although searching could take a lot of time, it was the effective and only method available then. Each book was categorized by geographical area and listed phone numbers alphabetically, helping people connect with each other. Today, the modern internet has completely eliminated the need for these books. With just a few clicks or a Google search command, you can find all the necessary information in an instant, including phone numbers and addresses, without having to stack heavy books in your home anymore. Slide rules. In the 1960s, before electronic calculators, slide rules were an indispensable tool for scientists, engineers, and students in performing complex calculations. This was a sophisticated mechanical device, often made of wood, plastic, or metal, with engraved scales on the body and a sliding cursor in the middle. With precisely aligned sliding scales, this device made complex calculations like multiplication, division, even square roots and trigonometric functions much easier than manual computation. Slide rules provided significant speed and accuracy for scientific and engineering calculations, serving as a symbol of the intelligence and problem-solving capabilities of that era. However, the advent of handheld electronic calculators in the late 20th century rendered slide rules obsolete. Electronic calculators offered faster, more accurate, and easier-to-use calculation capabilities, eliminating the need for dexterity and specialized knowledge to operate a slide rule. Now, slide rules are just historical artifacts, cherished by enthusiasts of old science and engineering. Carbon paper. Before photocopiers boomed in the 80s, carbon paper was everyone's personal photocopier, an indispensable tool in every office and household. Carbon paper had one side coated with a magical waxy ink from the 60s. To make a copy, you would place a sheet of carbon paper between two regular sheets, with the inked side facing down onto the bottom sheet. When you wrote or typed on the top sheet, the pressure would press the ink from the carbon paper onto the sheet below, creating an exact copy of the original content. This technology allowed for multiple copies of important documents like letters, contracts, or reports without having to rewrite them multiple times. However, using carbon paper was quite messy, easily staining hands and documents if not careful, and the copy quality was also not as perfect as the original. As photocopiers became more common and affordable in the 80s, the ability to create quick, clean, and high-quality copies made carbon paper obsolete, becoming just a memory of a manual work era. 8-track tapes. In the mid to late 1960s, if you were listening to album music in your car, it was definitely an 8-track tape. 8-track tapes were a music format specifically designed for cars, with a bulkier design compared to later cassette tapes. Their highlight was the ability to hold an entire album on a single tape, allowing listeners to enjoy continuous music without changing discs or tapes multiple times. Although they sometimes had the drawback of skipping middle sections when changing songs, meaning no specific rewind or fast-forward capability, and the sound quality wasn't always perfect, they were still the most popular music format at the time, offering a convenient mobile music experience. The introduction of cassette tapes in the 80s killed 8-track tapes. Cassette tapes were more compact, more portable, and offered much easier fast-forward and rewind capabilities, quickly becoming the preferred choice for both home and car music listening. Reel-to-reel tape recorders. Reel-to-reel tape recorders were a revolutionary tool for recording and playing high-quality audio in the 70s and 80s. Before cassette tapes and digital media, These bulky machines were the top choice for audio professionals, recording studios, and music lovers who wanted to record or enjoy audio with high fidelity. The machine had two large tape reels, one containing blank tape and the other for winding the recorded tape. Despite their large size and complex operating system, reel-to-reel recorders still offered superior sound quality compared to other formats of their time, with a wide frequency range and less noise. However, by the 1980s, as cassette tapes and CDs became more practical and portable, reel-to-reel recording systems gradually disappeared. Cassette tapes allowed users to record and listen to music more easily, while CDs provided perfect digital sound quality and greater durability. This pushed reel-to-reel recorders, once the dream of audiophiles, into a classic artifact, now only found in technology museums or collections of nostalgic audio enthusiasts. Portable phonographs. Once a prized possession for music lovers, portable phonographs were the pinnacle of early mobile music sound technology. Starting in the 1930s, these beautifully designed devices brought the joy of vinyl records to picnics, gatherings with friends, or outdoor parties. To use them, you often needed a bit of assembly and manual effort, usually involving a hand crank to wind the mechanism that powered the turntable, and a stylus to play the music. Although a bit bulky and requiring manual operation, the ability to bring music anywhere made portable phonographs a unique and popular entertainment item. While initially very popular, portable phonographs are now obsolete in today's digital age. They have been replaced by compact wireless speakers, MP3 players, and streaming services, offering access to millions of songs at the push of a button. Kodak Brownie camera. The Kodak Brownie camera, launched in 1901, revolutionized photography by making it accessible to ordinary people, no longer a luxury hobby only for professionals. This lightweight, box-shaped device came preloaded with film, allowing users to easily take up to 8 photos by simply pressing the shutter button. Its affordability, starting from just $1, led to widespread popularity, with over 250,000 units sold in the first year alone. The Brownie camera opened the door to amateur photography, allowing millions of people to capture memorable moments in their daily lives, from family gatherings to trips. The last Brownie cameras, which came with flash, were produced in the late 1960s. Although now obsolete, replaced by digital cameras and smartphones, the Brownie laid the foundation and paved the way for modern snapshot photography. Film reels, Super 8/16mm. In the 1960s, Super 8 and 16mm film reels were essential media for preserving family memories and motion pictures. These film reels captured everything, from family gatherings, birthdays, holidays to school plays or distant travels. After filming, families would gather around a specialized film projector to watch these precious memories, creating special and nostalgic entertainment evenings. The experience of watching family films on a large screen with moving images, though not perfect in sound or clarity, still brought a cozy and lively feeling. However, these bulky film reels required careful handling, meticulous preservation to avoid damage, and a projector was mandatory for viewing. As technology advanced, they gave way to more convenient formats like VHS tapes and later digital video. VHS tapes allowed easier recording and playback on TVs, while digital video provided sharp image quality, flexible editing capabilities, and instant sharing, pushing film reels into the past. Slide projectors/carousel slide projectors. How did you show off boring family photos in the 1960s without Facebook or Instagram? It was all thanks to slide projectors. The carousel slide projector, patented in 1965 by David E. Hansen, featured a rotating tray that held up to 140 35mm slides, allowing you to easily display a series of photos continuously. The Kodak Carousel, launched in 1961, brought convenience and reliability, eliminating the common slide jamming issues of previous projectors, turning family photo viewing into a popular social activity. Families and friends would gather around the screen, reminiscing together through each colorful photo. The advent of digital photography and modern projector technology made them obsolete. Instead of printing photos onto slides and arranging them in a tray, we can now easily display photos on TVs, computers, or use compact digital projectors with superior image quality. Filmstrip projectors. Filmstrip projectors were once essential tools in classrooms and offices in the 1960s, serving as an important bridge between traditional teaching methods and audio-visual learning. These devices illuminated long strips of images, often accompanied by narration or audio recorded on vinyl records or cassette tapes, creating an engaging and structured experience for students and employees. Teachers used film strips to illustrate history, science, or geography lessons, while companies used them for employee training or presenting product information. It was a powerful tool for conveying information visually and linearly, helping viewers easily follow content. However, as technology advanced, filmstrip projectors became obsolete. The emergence of new media like videocassettes and later digital content and video brought greater flexibility and ease of use. Today, lectures and presentations are all done through digital projectors, interactive whiteboards, and online videos, making filmstrip projectors a part of educational and training history. Milk delivery in glass bottles, crates. In the 1960s, home milk delivery was a common and familiar service in many neighborhoods. The milkman would drive to each house early in the morning, delivering fresh milk directly from the farm in large crates and placing it at your doorstep. The milk bottles were typically made of clear, sturdy glass, and older ones were thicker to withstand multiple reuses. Residents would leave empty bottles at their doorstep for the milkman to collect and refill. This reuse cycle was not only convenient, but also very environmentally friendly, an example of sustainability even before the concept became widespread. However, the boom of supermarkets and large grocery stores with modern refrigerators made home milk delivery obsolete. Consumers could buy milk anytime they wanted along with other items at more competitive prices. Digital alarm clocks. Once an essential item in every family's daily routine, digital alarm clocks have faded into the background of modern life. These clocks, with their bright LED displays showing numbers, offered a much more precise way to wake up than traditional mechanical alarm clocks. They used quartz technology to ensure accurate timekeeping and often provided additional features like snooze buttons and integrated FM/AM radios. Digital alarm clocks brought convenience and reliability to waking up, helping people no longer worry about missing work or important appointments. However, as smartphones dominated the market, the need for standalone digital alarm clocks gradually decreased. Smartphones not only have alarm functions with various customizations and sounds, but also integrate countless other features like calendars, weather forecasts, and internet access, making owning a device just for an alarm unnecessary. Vinyl seat covers in cars. In the vibrant automotive landscape of the 60s, vinyl seat covers were all the rage, offering a sleek and easy-to-clean surface for drivers and passengers. Their shiny, plastic-like appearance became a prominent feature of cars of that era, symbolizing modernity and practicality. Vinyl was prized for its durability and spill resistance, making car interior cleaning incredibly simple. Just a damp cloth could wipe away any stains. This was an ideal choice for families with young children or those who frequently ate in the car. However, the downside of vinyl was that it often lacked the comfort and warmth of natural fabrics or leather, especially in hot summers or cold winters, when it could become sticky or chilly to the touch. As the automotive industry evolved, consumer preferences also changed, leading to an increase in more comfortable and stylish materials like velour and leather. Today, vinyl seat covers are only found in some classic cars or specialized vehicles, representing a period where practicality and easy cleaning were prioritized over comfort and luxury. Cigarette vending machines. In the 1960s, cigarette vending machines were a familiar sight, and you could practically see them everywhere. Diners, parks, airports, and of course bars were all common locations for these machines. They allowed adults to purchase cigarettes quickly and easily by simply inserting coins and selecting their favorite brand. The popularity of cigarette vending machines reflected a more relaxed, societal attitude towards smoking at the time, when health risks were not widely publicized and age regulations were not as strict as they are today. The anti-smoking movement in the 90s really made them stink and decline. As public health awareness increased and regulations on selling tobacco products to minors became stricter, cigarette vending machines were gradually eliminated. Cigarette sales had to be controlled by staff to verify the buyer's age. TV antennas. You needed these big friends, TV antennas, to catch TV signals before cable television came along. These large, sometimes bulky metal structures were once a common sight on the rooftops of every home. They often measured around 16 by 16 inches or larger and were designed to receive signals from distant broadcast towers, bringing pictures and sound to the tube TV indoors. Adjusting the antenna for the best signal was often a patient task, sometimes requiring rotating the antenna on the roof or adjusting its direction to eliminate interference and snow on the screen. When TV went digital in 2009, these items became ancient history. Cable and satellite TV offered hundreds of channels with sharp image quality, eliminating the need for traditional antennas. Vacuum tube testers. In the days when vacuum tubes powered our favorite devices like radios, TVs, and other electronics, vacuum tube testers were essential devices for diagnosing and maintaining their performance. Technicians and electronics enthusiasts relied on them to assess the condition of tubes, determining if they were weak, damaged, or needed replacement. Testing vacuum tubes helped ensure crisp sound quality, clear images, and stable operation of electronic devices. This was a specialized tool, reflecting the complexity and maintenance requirements of vacuum tube technology. However, with the advent of transistors and modern electronics in the mid-20th century, vacuum tube technology quickly faded into oblivion. Viewmaster. The 60s didn't have Nintendo or PlayStation. People had to entertain themselves by viewing 3D images through a peculiar binocular-like device called the Viewmaster. The Viewmaster was a simple yet captivating optical device that allowed viewers to look into circular discs containing stereoscopic photographs, creating a vivid 3D visual effect. Viewmaster discs covered various themes, from landscapes, wildlife, fairy tales, to famous landmarks, providing an educational and imaginative entertainment experience for children and adults. It was a window to the world without having to leave home. As video games became popular in the 70s and 80s, these devices quickly disappeared. Steel ice cube trays. Steel ice cube trays were an essential item in every kitchen in the 1960s, long before silicone or plastic trays became the norm. Made from heavy stainless steel, these trays were known for their durability and rapid cooling. What was special about them was their integrated lever mechanism, which made it easier to remove ice from the tray compared to twisting or banging plastic trays. You just needed to pull the lever and the ice cubes would pop out of the mold. They were built to last, usable for many years without damage, providing a plastic-free, durable, and hygienic solution for making ice. Although durable, steel ice cube trays were gradually replaced by more convenient, lighter, and often cheaper plastic and silicone trays. Especially the popularity of refrigerators with automatic ice makers significantly reduced the need for manual ice trays. Manual lawn mowers. In the 1960s, manual lawn mowers were a familiar tool for keeping lawns tidy. This was a simple but effective machine operating entirely on human power. You would have to push the machine forward, causing the blades to spin and cut the grass. Mowing with a manual mower not only required strength, but also patience and time. However, it offered certain benefits. No loud noise, no fuel needed, and no emissions, making it an environmentally friendly option, even before the green concept became popular. When electric and gasoline-powered lawnmowers appeared in the 70s, manual lawnmowers quickly disappeared. These new machines offered superior power and cutting speed, making lawn mowing much faster and less tiring. Although you can still buy a manual lawnmower today, usually for small lawns or for environmental reasons, they have become a less fun and more time-consuming option compared to modern tools. Carpet sweepers. Carpet sweepers were once a common item for cleaning homes before vacuum cleaners became widespread. It was a simple device, often made of metal and wood, working by pushing it back and forth on the carpet to make the brushes spin, collecting dirt and debris into an internal compartment. Carpet sweepers were especially useful for quick cleanups of small spills or pet hair without having to drag out a bulky vacuum cleaner. It required no electricity, operated silently, and was easy to store, becoming a convenient tool for maintaining daily cleanliness. Although they still exist on the market today, obsolete is still the only word to describe them. The advent of vacuum cleaners, especially handheld and robotic vacuum cleaners, brought stronger suction, deeper cleaning capabilities, and much more convenience. Vacuum cleaners can remove dirt more effectively from carpets and other surfaces, making carpet sweepers a less efficient and less popular solution in modern homes. Home barometers. Finally, let's talk about an essential device for weather forecasting. A barometer is a great tool to help give you an idea of how the weather will change over the next 12 to 15 hours. No external power is required. They react to the pressure around us and automatically measure. Crafted from wood and glass, home barometers measured changes in air pressure, helping families predict rain or sunshine. Falling pressure indicated an approaching storm, while rising pressure promised clearer skies. Home barometers provided practical information and added an elegant touch to home decor, sparking conversations about the ever-changing weather. However, with the development of modern technology, these charming instruments have become obsolete, replaced by accurate weather forecasts and smartphone apps that provide instant real-time updates. The 1960s saw incredible inventions that shaped the lives of an entire generation. From how we communicated, worked, entertained ourselves, to how we cared for our homes and traveled, these items defined an era. While many items have become a thing of the past, they still hold a special place in our memories, reminding us of a time full of creativity and change. We hope this journey back in time brought you many fond memories and deep insights into items that were once essential but are now obsolete. Don't forget to hit that subscribe and like button so you don't miss our next nostalgic videos. See you then.